Hello everyone. This is Olive, casting FleurDeLys versus ProtoKam. Welcome back to Season 1 of Tooth and Tail Championships 2023. This is the group stages, Swiss-style tournament. Whoever wins this will get a +1 next to the name, whoever loses will get a -1, and then whoever has the most, top 8, whoever has the most points at the end will move on. Bottom will play in a different bracket of their own. Game score does matter for tiebreaks, so here we go. Fleur versus ProtoKam, game number 1. Spawning in the very top is Bellified. Is FleurDeLys playing as Bellified? Bellified is not playing this match, unfortunately, for the viewers at home. I'm sorry. And at the very bottom is ProtoKam playing as Hopper. Now, ProtoKam bringing a very meta Badger deck. This is a very common Badger deck. Squall, very meta, good tier 1 pick. Skunk Falcon, really good tier 2 composition, and the Pigeon Badger support for that late game. Very common Badger deck. Oh, bit of a mole rush here from ProtoKam. Keep our eyes on that. Should force a sell on this pig. It's a bit far away, but no, he's actually going to sell his... Oh, this is nice timing tempo for FleurDeLys. Let's see what Fleur decides to do. I think he should just buy... Okay, he's gonna buy a tier 1 on 6 farms, and ProtoKam's going to get 7 farms. So actually, it's okay. ProtoKam getting 7 farms faster. FleurDeLys, on the other hand, bringing a very off-meta deck, so we could not be seeing things further from each other. Fleur bringing Squode. This is super uncommon. We'd never really see Toad these days. It's just not as consistent as players really need it to be. You know, when you need to be winning a tournament game, Toad can really perform, or really struggle. And it's just uncommon pick these days. It's not really in the meta, as well as 4 tier 2. So wow, yeah, Ferret, Cam, Skunk, Falcon. I mean, yeah, super uncommon. Bit of a tier 2 bruiser deck. Fleur's going to be trying to take this early game, going to try to make some kind of beatdown happen. I will say this is probably not the map Fleur would have hoped for. Right, Ferrets are not going to be able to shine pretty much at all in this map, so going to be trying to look for some kind of tier 2 beatdown. And when I say beatdown, what I mean by that is that if this gets to like the stage where a Badger is out, or like kind of the later game, ProtoKam has a better late game deck because they have the tier 3, right? Fleur has sacrificed that tier 3 slot to go for a really strong early to mid game, and it's going to try to win in that early to mid game. If Fleur can't win in that early to mid game, it's really going to swing back in the favor of ProtoKam. So it's kind of almost on Fleur to make something happen, whereas ProtoKam really should just be sitting back. Of course, ProtoKam doesn't know what deck Fleur is running, so can't make that decision, obviously. Now, ProtoKam actually a little bit delayed on this expansion. You see Fleur has expanded, and ProtoKam delaying that quite a bit. Trying to scout, seeing the double tier 2 from FleurDeLys. ProtoKam getting the Skunk Falcon out, which is really powerful tier 2 comp. And Fleur going to have the Cam Falcon. Kind of a similar, comparable tier 2 combination. A lot of times Skunks and Cams are kind of interchangeable in their slots. Kind of tier 1 killers there. Actually, it's going to be ProtoKam, the one moving out here. Thinks they have an advantage. Does have a bit of a tier 2 timing. FleurDeLys' Falcons are not going to really be here in time. Then again, ProtoKam's Falcons aren't going to really be here in time either. So I don't know if they really have the timing they want. Trying to get some pre-gas down. The Cams are moving in now. Here they come. Pre-gas pretty nice. But no, not really any squirrels actually sitting in it. So we want to keep these Falcons alive, though. That's really the important part of this fight. And actually going to be ProtoKam kind of cleaning up here, but I wouldn't say it went too badly for Fleur either. Yeah, I'd say that's probably pretty even. Actually ended up being ProtoKam probably losing more tier 2. Actually going to sell off those Skunks and drop a Badger. Very interesting. Very late one-base Badger here for ProtoKam. Normally when you play one-base Badger, you don't want to lose a fight and throw down the Badger, but he didn't lose it that badly, so it's not the end of the world. It was actually somewhat even. I'd say it's probably even. I think if you just micro those Falcons a little bit more when they were reloading, could have probably saved a Falcon, and that would have really given the upper hand in that fight. You see, Fleur reusing these Toads is such an interesting pick. I don't know if they're really going to be what he needs, because once this Badger is out, they're going to be absolutely useless against the Badger. So, Fleur really needs to scout this Badger that's been placed down here. Does not know about it yet. And ProtoKam going to try his absolute hardest to deny the scouting. Did he see it? I think he saw it, right? Yes, he does see the Badger. But the commander kill comes in. Now, what is the response from FleurDeLys here? This Badger is so... No! ProtoKam sells the Badger? What? What is happening here? ProtoKam almost I would say indecisive right now. I don't think he really needed to sell that Badger. I mean, okay, so ProtoKam gonna sell the Badger once Fleur scouted it, but Fleur's response wasn't to freak out and throw down tier 1 to attack. It was to throw down tier 2. So ProtoKam absolutely needs to make this push work. All right, I mean he's kind of far behind right now in tech. So this push needs to be pretty effective here for ProtoKam. Does have an army lead, so we'll see if this works out. Do not lose those Falcons early, though. Okay, here comes the fight. Mole's doing a great job. Both Falcons do go down, but still a lot of tier 1 on the field for ProtoKam here. All of these tier 2 kind of surviving, though, for FleurDeLys. And I don't think this is going to work. I think ProtoKam going to be forced to go back home right now. Almost, man, again, losing those Falcons when maybe a second volley could have gotten off. And going to get chased home here, losing so many tier 1 in this retreat. This is looking worse and worse for ProtoKam right now. The only silver lining is that they're even, if only a little bit ahead in terms of economy. But the tech is so far in Fleur's favor right now. It's just looking worse and worse here. ProtoKam kind of stuck on mass tier 1 at this point, whereas FleurDeLys is on a lot of tier 2, diversified tier 2, anti-tier 1 tier 2. And this is going to just cause a massive problem, I think, for ProtoKam when this push comes out from FleurDeLys. ProtoKam going to try to grab some skunks, but I really think that Badger was the way to go. Selling that Badger, I think, just a mistake. I think ProtoKam was trying to force some aggression out of Fleur, but Fleur did not take the bait, did not attack, and that forced ProtoKam to attack instead, and that was just, unfortunately, not a very well-timed attack. And I don't think this skunk is even going to make the field. There's just not enough income here for ProtoKam. Trying to find a good angle, but these skunks and their pre-gas gonna get some... No, and again, losing these Falcons so early in this fight. Although I think the game was probably over. But GG, FleurDeLys taking game number 1. Alright, let's see, game number 2. Spawning the tippity top, FleurDeLys. And at the very, very bottom, ProtoKam. Very interesting map here. Very sparse left side of the map. Only one lonesome campfire here. And FleurDeLys, wow, not getting a great map gen here. This is not a really good mill. I mean, it's somewhat defendable, but no, it's not. I take it back. I mean, this is... Okay. the real problem here for FleurDeLys would be skunks. Oh man, skunks would be brutal on this map. But still, it's going to be really hard to actually make something happen here. ProtoKam? Throwing down a mole warren, but so far away. I mean, unless Fleur is like just not scouting at all. Oh, he's not though. I don't think he's gonna force a sell on this one, but he's only gonna force a single sell off this. Yeah, okay, forcing a single sell there from ProtoKam. Fleur going for a 5-farm double. Oh, ProtoKam though going for a 5-farm double as well. He didn't see it, did he? No, he didn't see it. Both players going for a blind 5-farm double. Fleur selling into a 7-farm single. But, I mean, I don't know, probably will defend against this 5-farm double because he has that single Warren. And I think ProtoKam, again, he might choose to move in here. But I don't know if he really is going to have enough to make this happen. Fleur probably going to buy, yep, second Warren going down. Dropping a mole here for ProtoKam. ProtoKam going to try to make this push work. Fleur does have definitely a couple squirrels out on the board here. A fight coming out here. Ooh, early damage there for ProtoKam. A nice early engagement here, actually. Keeping FleurDeLys away from his mole warren, and now the rest of the army is here. But I don't know, does he have enough? That's the real question here, right? With defender's advantage. Really needs a second mole. Here, the second mole is here. Getting a pick, though, on a squirrel. Nice, well done. And now the moles are coming in as tanks, but I don't think it's quite enough. Wow, actually getting a pig there. That's super valuable. Okay. Well played there from ProtoKam. Nice. Oh, and probably going to get the squirrel. Yeah, nice tier 1 harassment here from ProtoKam. Gonna focus down the Warren. Oh, but not gonna get it quite. No. Unfortunately, overextending just a little bit there. Thought he could get the Warren, but it's surviving at basically 1 HP. Now Fleur gonna put on a little bit of counter pressure. I don't think he... I think he'll just turn around and go home. Does not have enough to really make this happen. Oh, he has a small... Well, I mean, it's 8 to 6 squirrels. It really depends on how the tier 1 fights go. ProtoKam does not have moles. Sees the aggression here. ProtoKam, that is. Throwing down a third Warren. But I wish he'd thrown him down the back. It's just going to be tough hold, honestly. No, with the defender's advantage. Should hold this, yeah. And actually going to be a nice hold, I think, for ProtoKam. Getting nice focusing damage in. And, well, actually... Okay, FleurDeLys losing the commander, and this is going to be a really easy cleanup here for ProtoKam. Yeah, very, very nice hold. You see ProtoKam, Fleur starting with this much and going down. Yeah, alright, ProtoKam definitely coming out ahead in that fight. And I think both players are probably pretty even now. ProtoKam overstanding a little bit, Fleur overstanding a little bit. You know, it's somewhat even, I'd say. Now, probably going to try to move out of a early game here. Looks like both players are probably going to end up buying an expansion. I bet ProtoKam at least will. No, actually getting excited for cams instead. FleurDeLys, on the other hand, grabbing a lot of tier 1 here. Gonna grab, looks like more toads, yeah. So gonna go up to a lot of tier 1. Maybe looking for a timing on ProtoKam's tier 2 here before it gets out. Toads do have the potential to absolutely shred Cam Squirrel if they get good connections, but that is the if. It's always the if. Do they get good connections? And that's why toads can really be swingy. If they don't get the value the owner was hoping for, they can be almost a wasted just unit. FleurDeLys gonna grab Falcons and the expansion. Okay, so gonna move us into a bit of a later game at this point, unless ProtoKam decides to move out. Has those moles down, but supply blocked in the second cam. Yeah, definitely a little bit supply blocked here. FleurDeLys grabbing a second tier 2. Has Falcon, has the skunk now. Probably will be safe from any aggression. I think ProtoKam will probably try to get another mill here. No, gonna try to move out. I mean, it has a little bit of an army advantage, but by the time he gets here, there will be a Falcon out. There will not be a skunk out though, so this could be maybe a timing here for ProtoKam. We will see. I think it's really gonna depend on these toad connections. These moles could be the secret unit here that ProtoKam needs. If the toads all detonate on just a couple moles, that could be absolutely massive value. But the longer the ProtoKam waits, yeah, gonna head home, and I think this is probably the right call. Just gonna match the farm greed. I think this is absolutely the right call from ProtoKam. So both players gonna move into a bit of a mid game here, very tentatively. Oh my goodness, no, ProtoKam is so hard to read. What is happening? Throwing down more moles and then throwing down the farms again. It almost reads to me that ProtoKam is a little bit indecisive, I'd say. I'm seeing a lot of selling, a lot of rebuying. I don't know if they really are 100% sure on their game plan, like what they want to do, which is sometimes fine. It just really depends. Yeah, look, they're leading with these moles, but actually, these moles are just gonna end up getting pre-gas done. And no, this is not what you want. This is not the engage you want if your ProtoKam has so much gas down. The toads all do die, which is really nice, but look, everything's just sitting ducks for these Falcons. Everything going down from ProtoKam, and I think this was just a bit of an ill-advised push, unfortunately. Now FleurDeLys ahead in farms, ahead in tech again. We're seeing a bit of a similar situation to last game. ProtoKam stuck on Mass Tier 1, whereas FleurDeLys is able to get into farms, able to get into tech pretty much freely. Look at this, into 4 Tier 2 right now from FleurDeLys. Like I said, this bruiser composition, this is when the bruiser composition shines. This diversity provides so much value in Tooth and Tail. Diversity in units. They all fill a different slot, and when you have every slot filled, it's impossible to beat you, right? If you think about it that way. So FleurDeLys grabbing ferrets on top of this, that's probably going to be the final nail in the coffin that Fleur hopes to put ProtoKam in the ground with. Gonna try to put on the pressure with the ferrets, bait him into the toads, or no, actually did sell off the toads, but bait him into the tier 2, that is. ProtoKam moving some cams out to a bit of a sneaky position here. So ProtoKam actually is up on farms right now. I believe that's just from some starting farm stuff. Those are going to farm out. Oh, actually, they have a lot of... Oh, okay. ProtoKam actually farming for quite a bit here, so up a little bit in terms of income. But you can see it's switched a ton over this game. It's actually hard to tell who's actually up on income at this moment. Uh-oh. Did Fleur lag out? No, he's around. Okay, never mind. Weird walking animation there. Oh, what? Oh, it looks like... Alright, it looks like ProtoKam ended up tapping out there, so FleurDeLys taking that game, bringing us to a game 3 here. FleurDeLys up 2-0 at the moment. So let's see if ProtoKam can bring it back. Spawning the bottom is FleurDeLys, and spawning the far east, ProtoKam. ProtoKam bringing the... Oh my goodness. Wow. Going to bring 4 tier 1 and a Badger kind of cherry on top there with a couple Falcons, that is, as his only tier 2. So looking for a very, very aggressive early game with the Squizzard, with the Squall, right? Squizzola, I suppose you could say. FleurDeLys, on the other hand, bringing back the same deck he's been using, that Bruiser. And I think Toad's actually going to shine through on this map. I don't know if ProtoKam was best advised to bring a super tier 1 focused deck against a Squall player. Sorry, against a Squad player. My bad, I'm getting tripped up in my words here. ProtoKam is such a weird player, man. Look at that, he floats to 60 food to pretend the mole rush, but doesn't even do it. I mean, why not? Just do it, right? But I suppose he did force the tier 1 out of FleurDeLys. And he's going to do it now. It just seems odd to me, I guess. I mean, this is not going to work. Fleur has a tier 1 on the field. Unless he doesn't see it, I guess. Unless he... No, he's going to see it. Yeah, I mean, what is this going to do, really? Maybe force a sell on a farm he just placed? Oh, yeah. Tier 1 is here now. And this, I don't... Uh-oh. Actually going to lose this tier 1 kind of carelessly. And that might just be a pig here. Going to force a sell on 1. And that... Ooh, I don't know if he's going to get this with just moles. Okay, so nice. Does force a sell on a couple farms here from FleurDeLys. So nice value there from ProtoKam. Did lose a couple tier 1 though, so not the greatest value. I'd say it's probably even. ProtoKam going to look to put on some more pressure, but actually has less tier 1 warrants now. So probably not going to get a oh my goodness, no, he's going to get a farm snipe! Is he? Oh, he does. Oh my goodness, no. ProtoKam getting a farm snipe for free on FleurDeLys there. Fleur was actually holding his tier 1. He was holding right click, and thus they didn't shoot the lizards. They just ran right past them, and I was able to get that farm just in the nick of time. ProtoKam, do not move out right now. You are lucky that you didn't just lose the game right there, honestly. Yeah, just head home, man. There's no way you get anything here. Yeah, alright. So really nice spot here for ProtoKam, actually. Able to keep FleurDeLys behind on farms for so much longer. You see, they are 8-8, but this 8th farm has just finished building, whereas ProtoKam has been farming for so much longer. You can actually see it in the army count. ProtoKam has a lot more money right now, and just has that tempo advantage. Gonna grab a tier 2, and this is pretty much gonna be an uncontested tier 2. I think Fleur knows he doesn't really have enough to push through this. Oh, going for a bit of a thing here from ProtoKam. Nearly lost a tier 1, didn't quite. Yeah, ProtoKam stresses me out, man. Whenever I watch him play. He just plays like pure tier 1 with like maybe a falcon or a skunk in there. I'm like, okay, dude. Like, and then when you're playing these tier 1 games like this, losing just 1 or 2 or 3 tier 1 at a critical moment, like for free, that could be the game. I mean, really, if you're just not careful for a second when you play the kind of games that ProtoKam plays, you are running a ton of risks. Looking for a bit of aggression here. Gonna try. He gets another farm snipe. How does he do it? ProtoKam using 3 lizards, grabbing another farm. Now, it did lose 3 lizards for that farm, so even food value. But that's a little bit more tempo, I suppose. Gonna grab another mill here. So actually, Fleur had an economy for quite a while here. I mean, that is a nice farm snipe, but didn't get it for free or anything, right? However, ProtoKam with 6 falcons coming up. Wow, imagine if he just had a different deck, right? Like, imagine he had more tier 2 or something. He could have a bit more of a diversified comp, but don't get me wrong, 6 falcons is really good. That's a lot of falcons. And Fleur actually going to try to get into some last-minute tier 2 here. If ProtoKam has a good timing, which I think he does, he has 4 or 5 falcons on the way. Did he see that? He sees at least 1. So he knows that maybe he can make something happen right now. No, just going to sit back a little bit here. Maybe. Throwing down some tier 1, but yeah. If he lets Fleur get his tier 2 out, he's not really going to have a window here anymore. Fleur going to grab the ferrets again, up to 4 tier 2, so trying to utilize every slot in that deck. ProtoKam with the fake rally right now. Just trying to stress Fleur out a little bit. And now ProtoKam up to a ton of falcons, but actually falling behind in the tier 2 numbers right now. Fleur getting up to 8 tier 2, whereas ProtoKam is only at 6. Also behind in farms, so nothing to shake a stick at here. FleurDeLys definitely holding his own. Look at this. This income advantage is absolutely massive. I mean, this is a lot of income here for Fleur, so definitely equalizing any advantage that ProtoKam may have had in the early game, just due to that income alone. We're going to catch these lizards off guard, and the cabin actually getting a kill on that lizard, so not the end of the world, or even probably a big deal, but looks like the fight is going to start here. Fleur feels like he has something, maybe waiting for that ferret to start the poke. Again, ProtoKam does not know there are ferrets in the field right now, but so many falcons. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of falcons. The ferrets now is when it starts. Here comes the fight. So many Falcons. Pigeons healing them up, and this is absolutely brutal. The Falcon count is insane for ProtoKam, but is it enough? There's a lot of tier 1, and no, it looks like ProtoKam is going to lose everything. Just not enough tier 1 to really deal Fleur's army, and that's going to be the tap. Fleur taking the series 3-0. GG's.